Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for Access City Council. I'm your host, City of Las Vegas Communications Director David Riggleman. Coming up on this show, breaking ground on affordable housing and honoring trailblazers in the African American community. There's a lot to talk about in Ward 5, and that's just scratching the surface. Joining us with more on all these topics is our Ward 5 City Councilman. You know who it is, Mr. Cedric Crear. Welcome back to the program.
Hello. Seems like we haven't been here for a while.
It has been a while because you haven't been on since 2023.
Yeah. The holiday break kind of makes things over. We're off. We come back. And it's just so much to talk about.
We have
and normally every 6 weeks. Now there's just like
8 weeks. So
We've got a lot to get through.
So we're going to go fast.
Yes.
Councilman, you know Ward 5, you're born and raised there. For those of you out there not exactly sure where Ward 5 is located, well, don't worry. We're going to show you right on the map there. Right in the heart of it all, encompasses, it's an interesting ward, encompasses the downtown, portions of the downtown, but then goes all the way out to the northwest. Mm-hmm. So very diverse economically, geographically, etc. But if you live in that area or work in that area, then of course, you are in the city limits of the city of Las Vegas, and you're represented on the city council body.
Yes, you are. And we're in the core of the downtown, historic West Side, Lone Mountain now after the census with the redistricting, Rainbow Lake Mead. So we've got you're right about the diversity of our ward. 3 area commands out of there, downtown, Bolden, Northwest area command. So it is one of the most diversified wards in the city.
Yeah. One thing very cool about it is that one of the great parts is that you have Symphony Park, in the heart of Ward 5.
As they say, the living room of Las Vegas.
Exactly. And Las Vegas is cementing itself as a world-class city for development. And the groundbreaking of the dual-branded AC Marriott and the Element Hotel in Symphony Park took place last week. And Councilman, this is a big deal because this is a hotel, a major hotel. It's going to be right there on Symphony Park with the Ruvo Center, Smith Center, World Market Center, beautiful condos, and now a hotel.
It is. It just really rounds out all that we're doing at Symphony Park. And I'm so happy you see Michelle Wheeler there, who's the president of Jackson Shaw. We've been working with them for such a long time. And even through COVID, when the financial markets shut down, we stayed true to the project. We continue to stick with them. They continue to stick with us. Marriott continued to stick with us, and we had the groundbreaking finally with them. And it's going to be a 400-plus room hotel or so, AC Marriott, Element right there. It is right in Symphony Park, which is needed because it rounds out all the apartments that we have there. We have another 21-story and a 5-story tower being built with Southern Land. Right back behind there, Patrick and his team at Red Ridge Development, $240 million developments taking place. As you mentioned, Ruvo, World Market, just everything is there. So it will be a great addition to Symphony Park.
Oh, it sure will. And some of the statistics on this, 500 full-time jobs generated from this, 50 part-time jobs. And you're right, Councilman, 441 rooms.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. And congratulations. The good thing, Jackson Shaw, they have experienced builders, not only in Las Vegas, but around the country. So we know it's going to get done, and we know it's going to be a great project.
Yeah, it's going to be beautiful. Right, it's literally right next to the Smith Center there.
Yes. I think they're going to be very successful there.
Yeah, very nice. Cool. We love that, Councilman. Now, keeping along those same lines, speaking of hotels, the Bent Inn recently opened its doors. You made a special presentation on behalf of the city of Las Vegas. The Bent Inn, if you're not familiar, is a non-gaming, adults-only property. It's billed as the first LGBTQ locally owned and operated boutique hotel.
Yeah, it is pretty cool, and I have to give them credit for coming in. We've been working with them also. They've had properties in Palm Springs. Now they're here. I think they're going to be very successful. They're very nice. There's a big bar, restaurant in the middle.
Looks nice.
Yeah,
Looks cool.
Great congregating spot. Like, even if you aren't staying in a hotel, you can go have a drink after work or grab something to eat for lunch or so. Right on 11th and Stewart, and then it's right next to the Share downtown apartments we opened up a little bit ago. Share 2, right on 10th and Stewart, so it takes up the whole street, rounds out that entire corner on the Fremont Street East.
And that was ribbon cutting, so it's open and operating.
It is. It's open and operated, so please go out and support it. It's great. A lot of fun. One thing about the property, you're going to have a good time when you go, even if you aren't staying there.
Yeah, interesting. It kind of under the radar. I had not heard much about it, and now it's off to the races.
It is. They have sort of bungalow rooms, which are fantastic.
Oh, nice.
It's not, it's not over pretentious. It's not too big. It's real small and intimate, so you'll enjoy it. It's a great place to stay.
Kind of staying on those same lines, Councilman, affordable housing remains a critical issue in our community. The city of Las Vegas, are you ready for this, needs more than 53,000 units to meet the shortage. Councilman, you were there for a new mixed income housing development when it broke ground. Frank Hawkins, a businessman, community leader, and former Raider, in fact, is the driving force behind this new development. He has had so many wonderful developments across the city.
He has, and look, we've worked with him since I've gotten office on this particular parcel of land, right on the corner of Decatur and Vegas Drive. When I grew up, it was old Wonder World that was there.
Oh, that's
and,
right. That's right.
It was very burgeoning shopping center that was there throughout the years. Obviously, he's transitioned. Frank Hawkins also has some housing right behind there of this facility, and he's been building, housing in the community for a long time. Great that it all worked out. They work with the city, and that is going to be a kickstart of that entire corner right there. So we're really excited about it.
Well, congratulations, Councilman. I've been at the city for a while now, and that project, we were always trying to figure out what to do with the old Wonder World site, and we went around and around and around, and finally, after all these years, something is going to be developed there that the community really needs.
Yep.
I think sometimes affordable housing has kind of a negative connotation to
does.
it, but really what we're talking about is workforce housing.
100%, David. We've got people who are teachers, who are firefighters, who are police officers, who are nurses that really are somewhat priced out of the market. Well, they need a place to live, to raise their family. The key is to build a quality product also. You're not going to build something that is subservient to the market that's there. You build a quality project, you make it affordable, you look at what's called AMI, average monthly income, and you have a percentage of those, and you can't go above that average monthly income for your rent. And so it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, it really is. And Councilman, it's needed.
It is needed. It's needed. And look, it's needed throughout the entire city.
It sure is.
This is a Las Vegas issue. This is a Nevada issue. This is the United States of America issue. And it's one of the top issues that you go to and you hear about throughout the entire country.
For sure. And the thing of it is, as you mentioned, Councilman, you got young professionals, young police officers, young firefighters coming out, getting started in their careers, can't afford a place to live.
No doubt about it.
Can't find a place to live.
And look, they're very, very good people. There's a stigma attached to it for whatever reason, which I don't know. We've traveled around the country looking at this, and we saw a project in Seattle, Yeshua Terrace, which the Housing Authority there owns. We're looking to recreate that at Marble Manor. We saw another one in Seattle where we're looking to duplicate that at Jackson and Jefferson and D Street in the historic West Side with Sam Cherry, with Share West Side. So we are building quality products, beautiful products, and going to allow people who are working people an opportunity to have a place they can afford to live.
Which is only better for everyone.
It's a win-win for everybody.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Well, Councilman, shifting gears here a little bit. We know that you have a very strong backhand. You were the captain of your college tennis team and won conference championships, too. But recently you threw your sport behind another popular racket sport, and of course it's pickleball taking over the world. You were there for the opening of the new courts at Patriot Park. You even played a match to kick off the festivities. I'm afraid you probably stomped whoever you played.
Well, pickleball is different than tennis.
It is.
It takes you a minute to get used to it. Tennis ball hits and bounces up, and you hit it here. Pickleball does not bounce. It hits, and it stays there, so you have to figure that whole thing out. And there's a lot of strategy that goes into it. My
goodness, stay out of the kitchen.
Yeah, I got to stay out of the kitchen, right? Yeah. It's so funny when I first played it, which I had never played. I'm attacking the net, and then somebody goes, "You got to stay out the kitchen." I say, "Well, what's
that?"
The kitchen? Yeah, so these two courts out at Patriot are fantastic. Right off of Gowan, Alexander area, there's two courts. We're looking to add some lights to the courts right now, because there's been a high demand. The people that I end up playing with plays every single morning from 8 to 10 a.m. When we were leaving, another family was coming in to play. It is the hottest sport.
It is. It is taken off, Councilman.
It really is. Taken off. And it just appeals to everybody.
It does.
If you are an active adult, you can play. If you're a kid, you can play. If you're young, you can play. And it's competitive, it's physical, it's mental. Yeah. And it's fun.
It is. It is. And, a lot of people network. It's a way for people they get into clubs, they get into tournaments, they get into different groups that, like your friends that play on a regular basis. And it's their little social network.
Well, it's like a lot of things. It could become addicting.
Yeah.
And I think that this is exactly what you've seen. People see it, they try it, they like it, and then potentially they have a little skill set with it. So they're like, I want to go do this all the time. And so, like you said, there's clubs, there's groups, there's a waiting list. You know, we're building those courts out in Ward 4. The city's putting like $13 million into those courts out in Ward 4. I know Councilman Polinsky started with Councilman Stavros Anthony.
That's right.
Who's a huge proponent of our
we all thought he
lieutenant
was
governor.
like, what's he talking
yeah,
about?
you remember?
What?
Remember Stavros
he
was
must be
saying
out of his mind.
he was like all in.
No, he knew.
He knew. We got to give the lieutenant governor a lot of credit because he really pushed the charge here in the city to get these pickleball courts going.
You were good at tennis there. You good at pickleball too? You got to be. It's the hand-eye thing.
It is, but the challenge is no cartilage in my right knee. So that usually that helps. Little cartilage in your right knee could help you. But and that's sort of frustrating too when you play because you're like, man, if I play, I know my knee is going to be completely out of whack for a month. But I could be really good at it.
Yeah. So
let's just go on record.
I know you would be.
Let's go on record that, yes, I would be good at it.
I see a tournament coming up. I just see it. So, Councilman, I love this too. Our community plays host to major conventions throughout the year. I mean, we're one of the major stops of the world. The World of Concrete stopped through Las Vegas recently, and one of the attendees made a very generous contribution to the West Side Workforce Development Center, which was really cool. It was the DeWalt company, right?
The DeWalt company. I tell you, the mayor and I had so much fun. Steve Ford, who is one of our deputy city managers who handles all of our public works, was absolutely positively like a field day. It was like Christmas for him, looking at all these different pieces of equipment that work in the construction industry. But it was so great at DeWalt. They were so welcoming. The mayor was amazing, as always. She does a great job of just being a great ambassador for the city, and they presented us with a gift for our Workforce Development Center in the historic West Side. So thank you, DeWalt. But we had a great time. A lot of fun.
We worked closely with their communications people. They were great too.
Put
all that together.
They did, and it was nice. We actually went out to, they had it set up in the parking lot of the convention center.
I know. It looked like a construction site. That was the convention center.
Look, it's the World of Concrete. They built walls. They built curbing.
They do it all.
Yeah, they did it all, and it was pretty interesting. You thought you were walking on an actual job site when you went there.
Pretty cool.
It was great. And it was great to see all the men and women that work in that field because we're working with the Workforce Development Center. The tie is that we're going to train our community in workforce development in manufacturing, construction, and trades, which is exactly what they do. You see people who go on these entry-level jobs. It pays them a good wage, good benefits. It's a career that they can go into, and it's something you can do anywhere you go throughout the world with that skill set.
Exactly right.
So thank you to Walt.
Yeah, and thank you, World of Concrete, for coming back to Las Vegas. We love that.
No doubt about it.
Well, Councilman, it's Black History Month, and the city of Las Vegas is proud to honor that legacy. The city announced its newest class of Trailblazer Service awardees. That took place. And that's this ceremony right here, right, Councilman?
It is. And it's hard to believe that this has been 10 years that the city has been putting this on, honoring trailblazers in our community. Thank you to the community services team, Dr. Tammy Mallich, Sabra, and team, Dr. Lisa Morris-Hibbler, who was our former chief of community services, one of the honorees for that, as well as honoree for Legacy Park. It was great to see her. But it's just good to recognize people who do things in our community. And many times you don't get recognized. But it's nice to get recognized. And then the second part of that is that we announced the inductees for the Legacy Park, which will take place in June. We do that at this ceremony there, and so we have individuals that were inducted. We'll have the ceremony soon. And so it's nice to recognize those individuals also. Congratulations to everybody. And the park is a place where we honor those true historic trailblazers that have done so much to advance our community.
Tell everybody where it is, Councilman, if they don't know.
It is right in Enterprise Park, which is Lake Mead and MLK, right behind the Starbucks that's there. It's a brand new park that we built.
It's beautiful.
4 or 5 years ago. It really is. Turned out much more beautiful than I thought it was going to be, to be honest with you. And it was great. It's a collaboration with the city and the county, which is always good because, look, we need our friends at the county to sometimes help us out with things. And so it's a great collaboration.
It's been
which is fantastic.
Thing.
And I urge you, especially students and people, to find, if you want to see who built the historic West Side and who contributed to the historic West Side, it is worth a field trip to go look at all the plaques that are there and see what these folks have done.
I think your parents are in there, aren't they?
My parents are there, and I tell you, it was great to see. Just as a son, you hear about the work that they've done, to see the work that they've done, and see it memorialized. It's great.
Congratulations
thank you.
again. So, Councilman, this next event continues to grow year after year. Of course, we're talking about the 42nd annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Parade in January. The thing that's really cool about this has become the largest MLK parade west of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
Along with the parade organizers held a banquet and other events. It's a wonderful weekend. And of course, it's a 3-day holiday, a 3-day weekend with the holiday on Monday, which just makes it even better. So everybody gets to go.
It's hard to believe that it's been 42 years. Congratulations to the MLK committee. Wendell Williams, who heads that up. I know Sean Newsom and his family sort of taken over the charge for that come next year, which is great. And Wendell has somebody solid that he can turn it over to continue with it. And hopefully we'll be celebrating the 84th MLK parade soon. You and I both will be around.
Yeah, here's the next 42.
Here's to the next 42. Congratulations.
He was honored by the Super Bowl host community. We're talking about Wendell Williams. Are you ready for this? Because of his work, the Super Bowl host committee donated tickets to the Super Bowl.
Good for them. Yeah.
It's like, man.
He's earned it.
Yeah,
He's earned it, and it's great. Wow, the Super Bowl. It's hard to believe it's going to be in Las Vegas, huh?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Who would have thought that?
You and I've been here. You've been here your whole life. I've been here 36 years. People laughed at the idea of Major League Sports.
No doubt about it.
The NFL wouldn't even let us run commercials.
You couldn't advertise on NFL. You couldn't even put up a poster at any stadiums around the country. It was sort of, the mantra was anti-Vegas and anything but Vegas. I tell you, to say that we have a burgeoning stadium here, a team here now, which is flourishing, and now there's Super Bowl here. We've got the Pro Bowl here. It's just, my goodness, Vegas is the sports capital of the country. I said it right here, and I'll stand behind it, and it's growing. It's getting even better.
I agree. Hear, hear. And, thank you, NFL and Commissioner Goodell, for kind of changing your mindset over the years. We appreciate that a lot.
And also, I want to just give a special thank you to all of the volunteers, of the people and the citizens of Las Vegas that have volunteered their time over the past year or so. That have really worked, no pay, no anything, to make the Super Bowl the best Super Bowl in the history of Super Bowls in Las Vegas. So thank you all very much for doing it. Man, I tell you, they have put in some time.
Yeah, they have.
And it varies. It's not just, there are a lot of executives of corporations that are volunteering their time, and then there are people who are, guest room attendants at hotels that are volunteering their time. So thank you all very much.
All right, looking forward. And Councilman, of course, we know you're a big sports fan. This time, it was all about basketball. Your college alma mater, Howard University, took part in the Chris Paul Boost HBCU. That stands for, of course, for Historically Black Colleges or Universities. That was a challenge at Mandalay Bay. And you took part in the event.
I tell you, it was so great to see Coach Blakeney lead these young men. They were such amazing young men also. Howard is my alma mater. I played tennis at Howard. We ended up having a day at our Becker Technological Recreation Park. We hosted them. We recorded a podcast. We had a esports tournament in our esports room that was there. The kids had a fantastic time. It was great. The podcast is fantastic. I urge you to check it out. It's on the city's podcast, so please listen to it. It's great. We also, they had played in the basketball tournament. And I was captain of the game.
Wow.
For one of the games. They played 2 games. I was captain of the game for one game. I sat on the bench, and I gave a speech to the team beforehand.
Did they win?
They didn't win.
Councilman, you got to work on the speech.
Does it count? Does it count if they should have won? Does that work?
Yes.
They were leading. They lost the lead. They never won.
No.
Yeah, but I tell you, it was such a great experience for myself and for them. And the team doesn't come to Las Vegas very often, so we am having a fantastic time.
Councilman, I remember students from Howard have been here volunteering in the past. Where they come in and do instead of going on their spring break to the beach, they come here and they do service projects.
Alternative spring break, they call it. Remember we hosted those kids who were here, and they went around the city every single day over the spring break. They were doing some type of community service in the community. I don't know, when I was in college, I would have done something like that. I was not quite as mature enough to do something like that. But
I would have been the same.
I give them a lot of credit. It was great to have them there.
Well, it's a wonderful school, and obviously the kids are learning a lot more than just what's in the classroom there. Very good.
Fantastic day. Fantastic weekend.
Council, let's shift gears to our first responders in the community. The Bolden Area Command has a new captain. You met with Captain Esmeralda Boveda to discuss a wide range of topics. Your conversation focused on Ward 5 and how you're going to work together to improve community safety. The Metro has always been a good partner with the city.
They are, and as I mentioned, I have 3 area commands in my ward: Downtown Area Command, Bolden Area Command, Northeast Area Command. Captain Pavetta is the new captain for Bolden. We welcome her. We have hit the ground running. She is wonderful. She is amazing, and she is going to do a fantastic job as being our captain, not only internally but externally, and working with the community to build that bridge between law enforcement and community.
Do a great job.
She's going to do a fantastic job.
Bolden Area Command has a Little League. They sponsor Little League, and they're really part of the community for sure.
They are. I think they do an amazing job. And look, that community, our community, can be a little tough sometimes, but they continue to go out. We do our trunk or treats with them. We do Bolden Little League. So many other activities that they are engaged in, and we thank them for that. And plus, they're keeping us safe.
Yeah, that's right.
That's important too. Ultimately, you got to make sure that you keep us safe. They do a great job of doing that also.
Exactly right. Councilman, along those same lines, the Metro Police Department Foundation hosted a Law Enforcement Appreciation Day at the Mob Museum. Councilman, you were one of the speakers for that event.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Captain Sheriff McMee. Excuse me.
You know what?
He used to be a captain. Used to be captain. He was keen. He used to be captain of Bolden.
Exactly right.
Yeah, so Sheriff McMahill and team were there for Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. It was great. The foundation put it on. These are individuals who support and donate to the Police Foundation. I urge you to look into it if you're looking to find a way to support law enforcement. And we had a great evening at the Mob Museum. Jonathan Ullman, who does a great job of running that facility, I urge you to check that place out too, which is also in Ward 5. And so it was just a really nice evening.
Yeah,
very classy evening, a lot of fun, and plus informative.
One of the preeminent museums in the country, here in Las Vegas. Yeah.
Who would have ever thought? I think that when former Mayor Goodman, Oscar Goodman, was talking about a mob museum, myself are like, what? Yeah. A mob museum? We don't need a mob museum. Lo and behold.
There it is.
And it is so popular. It's accredited now, and they get more visitors in that museum than you can even think about.
It's a big deal.
It's pretty cool.
Congratulations.
It is a definite must-see when you come to Vegas.
Yep, for sure. Right there in Ward 5, right there on Stewart. And then, Councilman, talk about time moving on. This past January, it marked the final State of the City address for Mayor Carolyn Goodman.
Isn't that something?
Kind of a nostalgic look back as the Goodman era comes to an end, and it's hard to believe because her husband was mayor for 12 years and she'll be mayor for 13, and so 25 years later, we're going to say goodbye to the Goodmans at the end of this year.
Yeah, I tell you, what an amazing legacy she is going to leave with this city, and I think that she has established herself not in the shadows of her husband, but she's established herself as a leader of our community over the past 13 years. She has worked on so many different things. Our Homeless Resources Center was under her watch. Our Youth Development and Social Innovation Department, which provides wraparound services for schools. We sort of pick up where the school district leaves off. That, I think, is a huge legacy that she's going to leave, both of those, as well as just the overall development of downtown. If you look at all the things that have taken place at Symphony Park, happened under her leadership. And so we thank the mayor, she has been a wonderful person to work with. I've known her my entire life. The cool thing about the mayor is that she was the same person before she was mayor to me as she was as mayor.
And there you go.
I thank her for her leadership.
Yeah. Of course, her term will go through this year, either into June or into December, depending on what happens in the primary. And so, that was her final State of the City. She got obviously a standing ovation there for that.
And she earned it.
Yes, she did. And Councilman, I love this too. You were a Gorman graduate. That's your alma mater, high school alma mater. And you recently honored the Gorman football team. Are you ready for this, folks? The Gales were not only the state Class 5A champions, but they were national champions as named by one of the groups that ranks them.
All three. So Max Press ranks,
that's right,
USA Today ranks, ESPN ranks, and Gorman football for the 4th time has become the #1 ranked team in the country. They played everybody. They travel around the country playing nationally ranked teams.
They sure do.
And they beat them all. And they came back and won state again for, I don't know, the 10th time or so. And so it was fantastic to have them come down to City Hall. I'm glad they brought the entire team to honor them because it's well deserved.
Yeah.
The weekend before, the previous, we had honored Centennial Councilwoman Polinsky, 4A state champions. And we honored the 5A state champions, national champions. So it was great.
A big deal, and a lot of those young men are going to major colleges to play college
They
football
are.
now. Yeah,
they are.
so
they have got some 5-star players
sure do.
on that team.
Big deal.
And it's great. Plus, it's great for the kids to be recognized of a job well done. Many times they just sort of get their award, they're happy, fantastic. But it's nice when the city recognizes them. And so we've once again, we're a sports town. Think about that. We've got the swim team out in Summerlin, and we've got
the
Sandpipers who go off to the Olympics
and win gold medals.
Winning gold medals. We've got national champions. We've got state champions. My goodness.
Yeah, it's Vegas, baby.
It's Vegas. It's Vegas, baby.
Councilman, I love this too. You do stuff with youth often, but this was one where you had passion for the community, for our seniors.
Yes.
And back in December, this took place at the end of the year. This group covered a lot of ground. Basically, you kind of oriented them to how government works and kind of took them behind the scenes at City Hall.
We did. So we usually do civic engagement days with our youth. And we've probably had a couple thousand kids since I've been in office to come down to City Hall, spend the day with me, meet with different departments, sit in meetings with me. They go to our homeless courtyard resources center. We buy them lunch just to learn about government. I know that when I was young, and the old City Hall was located where the jail was, where Metro's was.
Yeah.
I always correlated City Hall with that. If you get in trouble, you go down to City Hall. If you get arrested, go down to City Hall.
Right.
You got to get a sheriff's card, you go to City Hall. And I wanted to break down that barrier, let them know, no. When we run the city, there's a lot that goes on here. They learn about the different departments. And so this group was a group of active adults. And it was the first time we've done it. We're going to do it again because it was overwhelmingly successful. They had a fantastic time and they learned a lot.
Yeah, it was good of you to do it for them. Councilman, we're about out of time here, but I want to plug this too. During the holidays, you and DJ Thump put on Thump-A-Claus. This was really nice. You kind of adopted a family that needed a little help.
We did. If you don't know DJ Thump, he is a radio personality on the Oasis, which is 105.5. He was at KCP. He's a great person. We adopted this family, and we provided them with a Christmas dinner, Christmas tree, gifts, and others to this single mom, and she has about 5 kids that were there, and they were struggling, and so they had a great Christmas because of the work that we did with Thump-A-Claus.
Kudos to you, and kudos to DJ Thump,
yes.
too. And Councilman, I want to tell everybody before the show has to end, you've got another Community Conversations coming up, February 28th. It's a Wednesday night from 9 to 10 at the Ernest and Betty Becker Technology Park here in the city. That's on Maverick, 2221 North Maverick Street. So love to have everybody come out and tell us what's going on in your neighborhood. Councilman's all ears.
That's great. It's the first time we're having it at the Tech Park, sort of off of Jones and Lake Mead. So please come out. It would be great. We'd love to see you. And we'll also let us show off the park because it's the city's first technical recreational park that we've ever done, and it's a fantastic park.
It surely is. Councilman, the show went fast. There's a lot in there. So, hey, folks, we always want to hear from you. So if there's something you'd like to share with Councilman Crear, you can find him on Facebook, Instagram, and X. You can also contact the councilman by picking up the phone, 702-229-6405, or send him an email. His address is ccrear@lasvegasnevada.gov. Councilman, thanks so much. We'll see you in 6 weeks, not 8 weeks next time.
Yeah.
Great job. And in the meantime, everybody, don't miss our next show beginning on February 8th with Ward 6 City Councilwoman Nancy Bruni. You can now catch all of our KCLV shows on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Also, watch for our QR code during the closing credits of this show to subscribe to our newsletter. And don't forget, you can watch us live on the internet at kclv.tv. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time around.